Download the Global Freedom app from Google Play Store. Open and tap on Register. Add your name, date of birth and address. Select your governorate, wilayat and nationality. Enter your email ID and your mobile number. Tap on Next. Select your preferred support branch. Add your resident card details. Then type your username and password. Enter your 4-digit MPIN. After this, upload your resident card photo and tap on Generate OTP. Then you will receive an OTP. Type it in the given area and click on Submit. Congratulations! Your Global Freedom account successfully created now.
Every living thing needs water to survive. It is one of our most precious resources. But although water covers 70% of the Earth's surface, less than 1% of it is fresh water we can drink. In fact, 1 in 9 people in the world has no access to safe drinking water at all. As the population grows, this will only get worse. So we need to be smart about the way we use and manage water, especially in hot, dry areas of the Middle East, like the Sultanate of Oman, which is 80% desert. Here, the Falaj networks are used to transport water from natural springs. But with so many people and such little rain, providing enough drinking water was a challenge. So they turned to the sea, using a process called desalination to remove the salt and make it clean enough to drink. Veolia built one of the largest desalination plants in the Sharqiya region of southern Oman. It uses seawater to provide 375,000 people with drinking water. It's also the largest beach well catchment in the world and will soon be producing more than 130,000 cubic meters of water per day, enough to fill 52 Olympic swimming pools. Let's see how it works. Seawater is extracted from 28 wells that are 80 meters deep. It's passed through sand to filter out large particles, such as pollen or dust. Then polished to remove any tiny particles, like bacteria. Next, the salt is removed by reverse osmosis. Pressure is applied to the water, forcing it through 7,000 reverse osmosis membranes. As the pressurized seawater flows over the membrane surface, water molecules are forced through the membranes, leaving the salt molecules behind, separating the salty water from the fresh water. The reverse osmosis membranes are then enclosed into a fiberglass shell. The membranes are connected end to end and housed in vessels. As the pressured seawater enters the pressure vessel and flows across the membrane surface, the water molecules are forced into and through the membranes, leaving the salt molecules behind. The rejected salty water goes back into the ocean. Back in the plant, minerals like magnesium and calcium are added to the water, plus fluoride to help reduce tooth decay. Now the water is pure enough to drink. The water quality is checked every day in our laboratory. Water is a precious resource that we all need to conserve, and there are small things that you can do to make sure it's not wasted. Turn the tap off tightly to stop it dripping. Turn the water off while you brush your teeth or wash your hands. And take quick showers instead of baths. We're counting on you to make a difference.
Open. ആണോ? മിറർ മൈ വീഡിയോ ആണ്. മാറ്റണോ?
വന്നിട്ടില്ല. ജസ്റ്റ് ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഞാനിങ്ങനെ കുറച്ചിങ്ങനെ ചരിഞ്ഞ് കാണിക്കും കേട്ടോ, അങ്ങനെ ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന പോലെ. ഇത് കാണണ്ടേ ഇവിടെ? അത് കുറച്ചിങ്ങനെ ഇത്
Send money conveniently and securely and get the best value for your money transfers using the UniMoney mobile app. Tap the sign up button to create your online account through our app. If you have never transacted at a UniMoney branch in the past, enter your email and tap on the new user tab. Fill in all the requested details in the app to register yourself. As a resident of Oman, to activate your account, you are required to complete your KYC using your resident card or national ID. This is a mandatory regulation for the security of your account. Visit a UniMoney branch with your ID and our branch executive can help you with this. Once your KYC is done, your account is activated for sending money online. You can add all your recipients who you want to transfer money to. Enjoy convenient money transfers at the best exchange rates with the UniMoney app.
Good evening, Chairman sir. Good evening, Ajit sir.
Good
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Namaskar.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Can we start?
No, just wait. It's not at 5:30, right? Just now, Mr. Anuj has entered. Please wait until.
Hi, Mr. Alex.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good evening, sir. వాళ్ళందరికీ ఇది వచ్చింది చెప్పి
Sir, how are you?
యాక్చువల్ మీటింగ్ అంత వాయిస్ తక్కువ యూ డోంట్ కంపల్సరీ.
Dr. Alex, shall we?
Dr. Srini, Dr. Srinivasan,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the chief guest has arrived.
Lights, camera, action.
Yes, Siri. Reduce the volume by 10%.
जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए, लंबी नहीं।
मैं आज भी फेंके हुए पैसे नहीं उठाता।
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
बड़े बड़े देशों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं।
उठा ले रे बाबा, उठा ले। मेरे को नहीं रे, इन दोनों को।
मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, गीत गाता हूँ मैं, गुनगुनाता हूँ मैंने हंसने का वादा किया था। किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार। आने वाला पल जाने वाला है।
कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुर मा ते संगोत्सव कर्माणि. You have the right to work only, but never to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be to inaction. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Vanakkam, Vandanam, Suswagatam, and a very good evening to one and all present here. At the onset, may I take this opportunity to extend our warm wishes to the benevolent ruler, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, and the people of this lovely country we call our second home. Our salute to the late leader, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said. We pray to God that the Sultanate of Oman continues to be the flag bearer of peace and prosperity around the world.
With great joy and immense exultation, we feel privileged to host this mega event. Me, Raisa Musawir, along with Shahana Rajashekar, Tironi Gomes, Masrat Jahan, Krishna Nandana and Bushra are here with you to sail you through the program with some highlights thrown on the story of how cinema evolved. In the words of N.R. Narayana Murthy, when you run part of a relay and pass on the baton, there is no sense of unfinished business in your mind. There is just the sense of having done your part to the best of your ability. The hope is to pass on the baton to somebody who will run faster and run a better marathon. We are on the verge of handing over the baton to the next in line. This year, we, the fraternity of Indian School Sur, are glad to host and unfold the most exciting event of Indian schools in Oman under the aegis of the Board of Directors, the second edition of Indian School Film Festival. On behalf of the Indian School Sur family, we take immense pleasure to welcome you all to the grand finale ISFF 2020. We begin with the ISFF flag hoisting ceremony.
captivates one's mind and heart, as music itself is divine and ecstatic. It connects people to one another and to the Almighty. Let's invoke His blessings with a prayer song.
मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। आती है आंधियाँ तो कर उनका खैर मकदम, आती है आंधियाँ तो कर उनका खैर मकदम, तूफान से ही तो लड़ने खुदा ने तुझे गढ़ा है। ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। अग्नि में तप के सोना है और भी नहीं करता, अग्नि में तप के सोना है और भी नहीं करता, दुर्गम को पार करके हिमालय कोई चढ़ा है। लाएंगे रंग मेहनत आखिर तुम्हारे एक दिन, लाएंगे रंग मेहनत आखिर तुम्हारे एक दिन, होगा विशाल पर्वत वो बीज जो पड़ा है। ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। वो सर्वशक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे, वो सर्वशक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे, हर काम उसके रहते आसानियों से हुआ है। कभी हारना ना, हिम्मत का कदम बढ़ाओ, कभी हारना ना, हिम्मत का कदम बढ़ाओ, हजारों कदम बढ़ाने वो सामने खड़ा है। ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है।
From ignorance, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. Let peace prevail. A lit up lamp is a symbol of knowledge. It passes on its luminosity to drive away ignorance and brings realization. Let us see divine knowledge by lighting the virtual lamp.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
Watching movies in a cinema theater is a different experience than watching a movie on a television or a laptop screen. In cinema halls, we get access to innovations and technological advancements. Cinema uses the language of dreams and imaginations. Unrealistic, yet every object and every incident are showcased as real. It has the power to eliminate loneliness even when one is so.
Cinema has come a long way since it first originated in the 1800s. Ever since then, technological advancements have made remarkable changes. Creative experimentation and innovative ideas paved the path for advancement in this mega industry. Here, we take you through the journey on the evolution of cinema. Here begins the era of moving pictures. Telling stories with shadow puppets has always been around, but it was the magic lantern show that started in the 1600s, which was crucial to the birth of cinema. Pictures painted on glass were projected by a lantern onto the wall. In fact, those lanterns are the earlier versions of today's projectors.
In the 1830s, people shifted to still images. The scientific concept of persistence of vision was incorporated to make still images appear to be moving.
Persistence of vision? What is that?
It means that the eye takes a certain amount of time to see. So if images flash in front of our eyes, before we have the chance to properly see them, it appears as though they are in motion.
Wow, that's amazing! We would like to know more about it.
Yes, but before we proceed on, let's take the event forward by inviting Mr. Jami Srinivas Rao, Chairman, CCA, Cultural Subcommittee of the School Management Committee for the formal welcome speech.
Honorable Chief Guest, Director Mr. Shyama Prasad, other esteemed guests, Actor Director Mr. Arun Chidambaram, renowned actress Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran, Mr. Anuj Swarup, Second Secretary, Embassy of India, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, Mr. Ajit Panikar, Director in Charge, Indian School Sur, esteemed directors of the board, respected presidents of school management committees, esteemed educational advisor Mr. MP Vinoba, assistant educational advisors Dr. Alexi Joseph, Mr. Gokul Das, eminent principals of all Indian schools in Oman, President School Management Committee, Indian School, Mr. Muhammad Amin, and my dear co-members of the School Management Committee. Dr. S. Srinivasan, Principal of Indian School Sur, beloved teachers of Indian schools, greatly regarded parents and dearest students, I am delighted and immensely elated to welcome each one of you to the second edition of Indian School Film Fest 2021. At the outset, let me take the name of Almighty and seek His benevolence grace. My sincere prayer for the great leader, late Sultan Qaboos bin Said. Let me express my sincere gratitude to the compassionate ruler, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, and the lovely people of this beautiful, peace-loving country. We raise our arms and pray to shower His blessings on the nation to enable the spread of message of peace all around the world. It's a matter of great pleasure that we have with us actor director Mr. Shyama Prasad, who has worked predominantly in the Malayalam film industry, a proud recipient of national and state awards for his contribution to the film industry. We are greatly honored by your presence with us today, sir. A warm welcome to you. I feel honored to introduce our eminent guest, Mr. Arun Chidambaram. Mr. Arun is an Indian film actor and director who has worked predominantly in the Karnataka film industry. He is a winner of 6 international awards for his movie Kanu Variyam, and has also won appreciation from the former President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We are overwhelmed with your presence. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I am honored to welcome our next guest, eminent actress, Miss Mallika Sukumaran, a very humble and simple person who has been very active in the field of film industry for a long time. She readily accepted our invitation to join this mega event. Thank you, madam, and a warm welcome to you. Leaders set the directions and navigate their followers to the right path. Vision 2020, the direction set by the Board of Directors, envisages holistic education for the students of Indian schools. Dr. Baby Sam Samuel has been a great leader who has enabled the entire fraternity of Indian schools in Oman to drive through his path of ideas and objectives. I would also like to extend my hearty welcome to the guest of honor, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, for this event on behalf of Indian schools. I wish to express wholeheartedly like to invite the trainers who enabled us to conduct the fruitful training sessions for our participants. The training sessions have really added value to the final outcome of the film submitted by the students. I also wish to express my hearty welcome to the Director in charge of Indian schools, Mr. Ajit Panikar, Educational Advisors, Mr. MP Vinoba, Assistant Educational Advisor, Dr. Alexi Joseph, and other members of the board to this mega event. The judgment panel for the Indian School Film Fest 2021 have made it possible for us to bring this event to a great finish. I wish to express heartfelt welcome to all of you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome all the members of various school management committees, principals, teachers of all Indian schools in Oman. A hearty welcome to the parents and to the students who have made this great event a success. Thank you all for joining us this evening for the closing ceremony of Indian School Film Fest 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for rendering such a warm welcome, connecting the chain back to the evolution of moving cinema. Have you ever noticed a horse while on a gallop? Are all the four hooves of the horse off the ground? This debated topic was answered by photographer Edward Maybridge. He wanted to capture a horse in movement, so he set up 24 cameras with some strip wire. In 1878, he produced a series of pictures with the help of a device called zoopraxiscope that made it seem like the horse was in motion when viewed in a peep show machine.
Shortly after that, Jules Mary photographed a bird in movement using a single camera, which was in the form of a rifle that took 12 pictures per second.
In the 1885, George Eastman created the first celluloid roll film, which allowed inventor Thomas Alva Edison and his assistant William Dickinson to invent the first camera to record movement in 1891. The kinetoscope produced films that could only be seen by one person at a time through a peep show machine.
Friends, I think it's time to tell our August audience about our own film festival. The planning and organizing, coordinating and conducting is no less than a Herculean task. Indian School Film Festival is an event designed by the Board of Directors under the leadership of Dr. Baby Sam Samuel to provide a platform to gain experience and learn the process of filmmaking and thus enable the budding stars to pursue their dreams in this mega field. The participation in this film fest by the Indian schools in Oman is highly commendable. We have received 39 short films and 8 documentaries from 17 Indian schools. More than 600 students have worked tirelessly to contribute their creations for ISFF 2020. A power-packed team of teachers and students who have worked behind each of these submissions is worth mentioning at the moment. It is a team effort beyond their comfort zones that has made the event a memorable one. Let's have a glimpse at the reminiscence of ISFF 2020.
indeed a memorable experience for each one of us. A great leader, mentor, and visionary who is committed to creating a knowledge-based society through education and skill. Yes, none other than Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman. Here is a brief profile.
Dr. Baby Sam Samuel is a man committed to Indian school system, chairman, board of directors. He is also an experienced business leader and an award-winning business consultant. He offers 20 years of multifunctional experience and expertise in critical top managerial areas such as general management, turnaround management, strategy development, and organization mentoring across various industries such as IT, media, design, advertising, academia, and social enterprises. His vision and commitment to holistic education, student and faculty development, enhancing teachers' role and empower them as individuals capable of eliciting joy and passion towards learning, transformation of schools to digitally equipped systems, and many more to add to the colorful feathers on his cap. He has set the momentum for the critical initiatives taken up by the board. We are immensely happy to invite Dr. Baby Sam Samuel to share his message on this special occasion.
Thank you for that very warm welcome. Chief guest of this evening, Mr. R. Shyam Prasad, guest of honor, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran, our special guest, Second Secretary, Embassy of India, Mr. Anuj Swaroop, Mr. Ajit Panikar, DIC, Indian School SEEB, President of the School Management Committee of Indian School Al-SEEB, Mr. Mohammad Amin, my respected colleagues on the board, Education Advisor, Assistant Education Advisor, Dr. Srinivasan, the Principal of Indian School Sur, Presidents and members of various school management committees, principals, teachers, beloved students and parents. Good evening. We have been taken through the history of cinema. Imagine the year 1878. We've been just shown the horse in motion, a single motion picture of a horse galloping, assembling individual pictures and using multiple cameras. 10 years later, in 1888, we had Roundgay garden scene, a 2.11 second long video showing actual consecutive action of people walking. And it is the world's earliest surviving motion picture film. In 1895, Workers Leaving the Factory, a 45-second short film by the Lumiere brothers, considered as the first film ever screened to public. These are some of the earliest ever motion pictures. And our fascination with art and craft of movies have only grown ever since. Moving from soundless to sound, from black and white to color, 3D, 8K, deepfake, virtual reality, and more. That movies are powerful and is of course understood and an understatement. Throughout the history of films, movies have captured reality. Films help us to identify and understand the world, make sense of the world around us. At the same time, films also help us shape and change our world. They have acted as a medium to create and drive social change. Contagion, a movie predating COVID-19 by 8 years, by predicting much of the aftermath of the pandemic with such scientific precision, is now influencing the COVID vaccine rollout in the entire United Kingdom. From Mother India, India's first Oscar entry to Jellicut, India's latest. Indian films have literally pushed boundaries. With the explosive growth seen in the digital platforms, the cinematic brilliance around the world is now more than ever accessible to a global audience, overcoming barriers of language or region. Yet for all the scope it has for reach and connection, the movie industry also panders to our needs for mind-numbing escapist entertainment. In an era where information overload and misinformation occur simultaneously and possibly in equal measures, it is up to each of us to choose our consumption wisely. Cinema is an extension of artistic expression. Over and above that, film and media is also a career path for people with diverse skills, and not just the actors that we see on screen. What is often invisible is the sheer collective effort that goes into the creation of a film media. The hundreds of crew members and skilled technicians working behind the scene across the media and the entertainment industry. The Indian School Film Fest is an effort to widen the horizons of our children and teachers, facilitating new thinking and new dialogues, introducing new skills and skill development. With digital literacy being a need of the hour skill for present generation, this is also part of the ongoing effort of the board, and one of the 45 plus initiatives that this board has taken up to ensure holistic education, empowering our children to be competent, confident global citizens. The 2020 edition of the Indian School Film Fest, organized by the host Indian School Sur, kicked off in November 2020 with a virtual launch and training sessions in direction, script writing, editing, photography, and acting by experts in these fields. Despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic, we have had tremendous response with 17 Indian schools and the Care and Special Education School participating this year with 39 short films and 8 documentaries. Today, we have been fortunate to have with us virtually luminaries from the field of cinema, esteemed director and actor, Sri R. Shyama Prasad, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, and Mrs. Mallika Sukumar. Thank you all for your valued presence and support here today. I also take this opportunity to congratulate all the participants and winners. I also acknowledge the Indian School Sur, the School Management Committee, under the able leadership of Mr. Mohammad Amin, the organizing committee members, Dr. Srinivasan, the principal of the school, and all the faculty members and students whose collective and collaborative efforts is seeing fruition today. Let's usher in new growth and new milestones for our students and for our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring thoughts and guidance. With the permission of the esteemed chief guest, Mr. Shyama Prasad, guest of honor, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, and Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran, special guest, Mr. Anuj Swaroop, and in the presence of the Honorable Chairman, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Mr. Ajit Panikar, Director in charge of Indian School Sur, Mr. Mohammad Amin, President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Sur, may we have the honor of the Indian School Film Fest 2020 Festival book being released.
great pleasure in inviting Mr. Shyama Prasad for the Film Fest, hosted by Indian School Sur. We would like to introduce him through a short AV.
Mr. Shyama Prasad is an Indian filmmaker, screenwriter, and director from Palakkad. After completing his degree in theatre arts from the School of Drama and Fine Arts, Thrissur, Calicut University, Mr. Shyama Prasad received the Commonwealth Scholarship in 1989 and did his master in media production at the Hull University, England. He worked as an intern at the BBC and Channel 4 to Indian television and redefined the parameters of telefilms and documentaries in Malayalam television with Doordarshan. He continues to push the frontiers of television in his creative role. He currently serves as the president for Amrita TV. His features for TV and cinema have won him several national and state awards, namely Agni Sakshi and Agale, produced by Tom George Kollat, who had been adjudged the best regional cinema films of the nation in 1998 and 2004. These films also received 9 state awards in all major technical categories, including for Best Director. He is a proud recipient of several other awards like the Golapudi Srinivas Award, National Film Awards, Kerala State Film Awards, and Filmfare Awards South. He's also the winner of the Best Director Award of the fiercely contested Kerala State Film Awards 5 times, namely for his films Agni Sakshi, Agale, Electra, Artist, and Oranyayaracha. It's a delightful moment to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Shyama Prasad to share his thoughts.
Thank you, and good evening to you all. It's a very impressive show put together by this school committee of holding a film festival out in Oman with children and with so much participation and with so much of mentors working with them and so on. I'm very, very impressed. Back in the days when I was a film enthusiast, a wannabe filmmaker, there were only 2 ways to go about it. One is to go to a proper film institute, which is way out in Pune or Adyar in Chennai, or to go to Kodambakkam and work with a filmmaker, like maybe be his assistant for 5-7 years before you actually get to even look through the camera. I'm sure my respected colleague in the film industry, Malay Chichi, will understand, and she can concur with this. Those were the days. And later, there were a few film schools come up within the state and nearby, but still it was kind of, you have to devote time to learn filmmaking, and camera was a very precious thing. The film camera was a very precious thing. Film material itself was a very, very expensive medium. So there is no question of fooling around with it. Gone are the days when, and you come to the 90s and the 2000s, and you are in the digital age where cameras come very cheap. If you have a phone with a decent video camera facility, you're a filmmaker. That's about it. So it's a tremendous democratization, or let's say demystification of the film media and the film technology and so on. And it's in many ways very good. It actually liberated the media and gave the tool to the common man, or to the children in this case, so that they can express themselves. Um, so it's on the one hand, it's very, there are many positive to talk about it, but on the other, along with freedom, if there is no responsibility, then you have an abundance of material which are not really conducive to the development of the society. I mean, you all agree that film medium is the most powerful medium in this century. It can influence societies, especially the young mind. Like an esteemed speaker was telling us just before me, uh, your choice of what to see is more important before you actually step on to making them, get to know the technology or get to know how to put them together. So that is a concern filmmakers such as me have when there is such a careless democratization of the media, like in YouTube or many such social medias. There is a wealth of I mean, I shouldn't say wealth because it's not all is positive. There is so much of material out there, and not most of them are positive to the society. So that's a concern when you think about giving these tools out to the children, because nowadays anybody can have a YouTube account and then put out a video, and it depends what they are expressing and what kind of a reaction it creates in the society. So we have to carefully observe what are the positives and negatives, and I'm sure these festivals such as what you have conducted is a very good forum to do that. But my thought here today is that more than conducting the filmmaking workshop, it is more important that the students understand how to appreciate films, how film affects their lives, and what are these images and sounds making the impact on their lives. Because creating a positive sensibility is more important than understanding the technology. So I'm sure your mentors and teachers would have talked to you about that, but I can't stress enough of the importance of it, because it's more important that we have a healthy sensibility and aesthetics developed in the society, and there is no better place than a school to start. So I think they should watch great films of the past as well as the contemporary world. Also discuss why certain films create a certain negative impact in the society. It's like reading a book, reading a poetry. When you learn language, it is by learning Shakespeare or other poets. Likewise, we must encourage them to develop a better sensibility through watching films and discussing and so on. And second comes the step of understanding the technology and probably using it. So I'm sure the next episode, when you create this festival, I'm sure you'll keep this in mind, and you'll put enough attention to do this important job of creating a healthy sensibility among children of the film media. This is the thing that I would like to tell you at this point. I'm sure that the children have put in their great effort in making them, and I appreciate and congratulate their effort in it. And I congratulate the winners, and also not the winners, not only the winners, but everybody who participated, because they have such a great tool in their hand. Let us pave the way to make them understand that it should be handled carefully and sensibly and sensitively, so that the society can benefit from it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and inspiring words.
We are eagerly waiting to move on to the rest of the story about the evolution of cinema.
The silent era marks the birth of cinema, when cinema was all about experimentation and pushing boundaries. The new discoveries of this era helped to shape and give birth to the invention of cinematograph in 1895 by the Lumiere brothers. The device recorded film stock and projected the footage on screen.
1902 witnessed the first science fiction film in cinematic history, The Lay Voyage d'Ans la Lune, which means a trip to the moon. It's a 12-minute film in which a group of astronomers travel to the moon in a cannon-propelled capsule to explore the moon's surface. By the late 1920s, the silent film industry reached a peak with the films like The Three Musketeers, The Covered Wagon, Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ were some of the box office hits. It was the golden age of silent films.
While talking about recorded film and screen, let us refresh your memories with some of the forgotten or unseen folk-based Bollywood songs. Our talented little budding stars are here to depict some of the old melodies before you, which is a mixture of numerous styles of folk forms.
पापी बिछुआ बिछुआ कैसो रे पापी बिछुआ बिछुआ
दया रे चढ़ गयो पापी बिछुआ दया रे चढ़ गयो पापी बिछुआ अपलम चपलम चपलाई रे दुनिया को छोड़ तेरी गली आई रे अपलम चपलम चपलाई रे दुनिया को छोड़ तेरी गली आई रे वो दुनिया को छोड़ तेरी गली आई रे
घनघोर झरे चहु और मारू मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे
मारू मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे
घनघोर झरे चहु और मारू मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे
मारू मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे
मेघ घटा कर घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे
मारू मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट करे मोर बनी थन घट करे मन मोर बनी थन घट
Wow, they have taken us back to the old melodies of Indian cinema. Now, moving ahead, we are all the more joyous and glad to have Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran on this day of grand finale ISFF 2020. Here is a short AB showcasing her brief profile.
Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran is an Indian film and television actress known for her works in Mollywood films and television series. She debuted in 1974 in a Malayalam film Uttarayanam by G. Aravindan. Since then, she has appeared in over 60 films. She won the Kerala State Film Award for Second Best Actress for her role in the 1974 for the film Swapnadanam. Mrs. Mallika's first appearance on television was in a tele-serial by K.K. Rajiv called Pedoriyade. She won the Second Best Actress Award in the Kaveri Film Critic Television Awards for her role in the serial American Dreams. She is well known for her comic and antagonistic roles. She made her debut in Tamil cinema with the 2008 film Varthukal. She is the mother of the Malayalam film stars Prithviraj and Indrajit.
We are glad to have you with us, ma'am. Kindly share a few words with us on this special day.
Thank you so much. I hope that you can hear me, right? Okay, so good evening and very warm wishes to all of you, each and every one of you. I know that I have got a long list of dignitaries on the dais, and the only person I know personally is Director Shyam Prasad. I respect him a lot. He's one of the legends of the Indian film industry. But I know that there are people behind this fantastic event who have worked day and night for this wonderful event. Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, your chairman, board of directors. Dr. Mohammed Amin, Sri Ajit, of course, the other dignitaries are Mr. Ajit Padekar, then Principal Dr. Srinivas, and hats off to you, sir, of this school of this Indian school in Surabad. Then Mr. Arun Chidambaram. Hello, Mr. Arun. And of course, there are so many on and off the dais. once again, good evening, all the VVIPs there and my loving children. Actually, today, it is with immense pride and pleasure that I am sitting in front of you because what a fantastic event is this. I was supposed to attend another function in Trivandrum at 7:30, but I told them I won't be available till 8. So I will manage to be there between 8 and 8:30, but it is already 8 o'clock here. No problem. I may have to leave after this a few words. See, this function organized by the Indian school in Sur in Sultanate of Oman, first of all, I want to congratulate each and every one of the school. I think it is headed by Dr. Srinivasan and Dr. Baby for their tremendous effort coordinating. I think about how many schools are there? Yeah. Competition coordinating 39 short films from 17 schools. It is really an amazing news. And of course, all mastered by children, not by filmmakers. That is the most attractive side of the event. And I want to convey my sincere appreciation and congratulations to the Indian school once again for organizing such a very unusual event, especially among the school children. We have seen so many short film festivals, but all are being made by veterans in film industry or whatever it is. Anyway, let me once again wholeheartedly thank Director Srinivasan for inviting me. I think he took a little bit of effort with tracing my number and finding out where I am. And he has done it through one of our common friends, Mr. Aloysius Pereira. And I know that his wife is also somewhere in the Indian school at Salala, Stella Maria Aloysius. Anyway, thank you once again, sir, for being a part of this function. I'm so happy to see this colorful event, attractive event, an unbelievable event. That is 39 short films from 17 schools. Really, 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 it is surprising. And of course, 8 documentaries also. See, coming to the point, my dear children, I want to tell you one thing. Cinema is supposed to be one of the strongest, influential, effective medium of instruction, of conveying communication to the coming up generation. Because years back, when I was very much active in films, it was not like this. Of course, there are so many films well accepted by the audience, but those days, they used to make films normally. All the subjects are confined to either about a family or the society or maybe an incident that happened. And in a very simple narrative form that conveys the story in a very catchy, easy way of way, because there is no confusion. If you want to see a movie and if you want to judge it, it was very easy. People say it was a fantastic story, all the actors did well and things like that. But as years passed by, I tell you, cinema has also changed a lot. Now, the cinema has changed. It is just because of the advanced technology in film making. Cinema, with the invention of new scientific technologies and other things, has moved to a higher platform, attracting international. Love very much the Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and such imaginative heroes also. So naturally, things have to change. It's not the same books that you study here now. Am I right? Because when I was in class 10, the books, the content, everything was so simple. But now even I can't teach my grandchildren if she comes and asks me a doubt from a 10th standard or a 12th standard book. I'm finding it difficult, to be very honest with you. So that is what I'm telling you. The whole thing, the syllabus, the education system So along with that, cinema also has changed a lot. Whenever I go for a function, being an artist, people used to ask me, why we need to study a lot of science subjects? Because my son wants to become a bank officer. He wants to become a film actor like Prithviraj, or he wants to do something like no way to any of these science subjects. But I tell you, my children, you like films made by veteran directors like Shyam Prasad, and there are so many. A few more are there who are internationally acclaimed by so many filmmakers. And you comment, absolutely fantastic. How brilliantly he has made it, how brilliantly he has done the film. That's why I'm telling you, yes, that is the brilliance. Why they are brilliant? It is possible only to those who are mentally, physically, and above all, scientifically, because they should have the knowledge of science from day-to-day changes and everything like that. And of course, they should have that passion, dedication, and commitment. I'm really overwhelmed to see such an unbelievable number of entries, as I told you in the beginning, in this short film festival, and that only about how many? 17, yeah. Film schools and 17 schools and 39. That's right. It is really, I can't again and again explain, because I never thought that from 17 schools you are going to get a large number of entries like this. Hats off to you, my children. One of the greatest directors of Indian cinema, Sri Shyam Prasad sir, is here with you, who can authentically tell you, teach you, explain to you anything about filmmaking or whatever be the section in the film industry. He is the right teacher to tell you that, because he is a very well-versed, knowledgeable person. All the films, he never tried to make this pakka mainstream commercial films. All his films are well appreciated. He's got so many awards, as I have seen in the video. Because as an artist, I wish all of you a very bright, colorful future. I mean, and I congratulate not only the participants or the winner, I mean, all of the winners, but also each and every participant of this competition. And I expect a few from this group shall join tomorrow as the stars of film industry in India too. Quite natural, because if they have this interest in them, as they grow up, it will be within them, and they will try to cherish it. And of course, they will come up as notable personalities of the film fraternity, no doubt, whether it is direction or acting or whatever it is. It's not fair on my part to teach you more about the film making and film industry, because but great another personality, Mr. Arun Chidambaram is there, Shyam Prasad sir is there with you. I have never made anything like that. I have just acted in more than 152 films, and of course I got these awards and everything. But in a school, when you conduct a competition like this, and if you get so much entries, that shows that in that particular school, not only in that particular school, the whole thing headed by this team, they not only concentrate in your studies, but all the extracurricular activities and the inborn talents within you, they help you to develop the same thing along with you when you grow up. And as I said, don't think that if I want to become a film actor, I don't want to learn mathematics. No, you should. Some people say, as I told you, why should I learn physics? No,
Dear audience, our guest of honor, Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran, is facing some network issues. Please stay with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your encouraging words.
Mom, you are on mute, Mom.
Film companies like the Universal Film Company, an amalgamation of various independent producers emerged. Studios like the 20th Century Fox, Paramount, MGM followed in Universal's footsteps.
A great transition happened when the first Vitaphone film with sound was released in 1927, The Jazz Singer. Filmmakers and actors had to adapt to the new technology. The movie not only opened new doors to film studios, but also paved the way to the second wave of the Golden Age.
German cinema came up with something new in the 1920s. They introduced German Expressionism. They mastered lighting and understood the ways a scene can create an impact when lit appropriately. The horror genre became popular under the influence of Expressionism. Alfred Hitchcock could make his famous masterpieces as a result of German Expressionism. Films like Psycho, I Confess are some movies famous for the lighting effects.
Taking you forward with the events of the day. It's a great pride, privilege, and pleasure to have the gracious presence of Sri Anuj Swaroop, Indian Foreign Service, Second Secretary in the Department of Political Education and Information, as our distinguished special guest. He is the officer in charge of maintaining the website of the mission, a gracious diplomat, a competent technocrat, a diligent administrator. He has a very constructive approach towards diplomacy. He believes in engaging with his counterparts on the basis of mutual respect to address shared concerns and objectives. A graduate in electronics and communication engineering from JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. Mr. Anuj Swaroop joined the Indian Foreign Service in August 2016 with the aim to serve the nation. It's a privilege to have you here with us, sir. We are delighted to welcome you to address the virtual gathering.
Hi, good evening, namaste. Thank you for that very generous introduction. Our esteemed chief guest and guest of honors, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, my colleagues on the board, President and members of SMC of Indian Schools Sur, President and members of SMC of other schools, principals, teachers, parents, and my dear students. A very good evening to all of you. I'm happy to participate in this valedictory function of Indian School Film Fest 2020, organized by the Indian School Sur under the aegis of BOD. It is an honor and privilege for all of us in Indian schools to have the legends and stalwarts, renowned names like Mr. R. Shyama Prasad, Mrs. Malika Sukumaran, and Mr. Arun Chidambaram with us today for this event. Art is the highest form of human expression and creativity. Art has the potential which allows us to express what words cannot. As said by our esteemed guests in the evening, films or cinema is a powerful medium and it has been a major component of India's soft power. As all of you must have noticed, many Omani friends also watching and enjoying Indian cinema in Oman. Indian schools in Oman have been at the forefront of providing holistic education to all the children with equal focus on academic and extracurricular activities. This year, despite pandemic, I'm happy to see that several events were organized, which is a testament to the commitment and importance given to arts and culture in Indian schools in Oman. It was only last week that the Indian School Talent Fest created a record and it was certified by the Asia Book of Records. During that event, I recall vividly our Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri V. Muralidharan, stated that art has the power to transform, illuminate, and inspire. And I hope that all of you, all the students who have participated in this mega Indian School Film Fest have inspired to be a better individual and better students. Under the recently announced new education policy 2020 by Government of India, now there is no hard separation between art and sciences, which I believe will further provide impetus to the integrated learning that we are trying to provide within the Indian school systems in Oman. All of us watched the glimpses of this mega Indian School Film Fest, and I can see a lot of young budding talent within our schools. I would like to congratulate all the students who have participated. All of them are winners. And as mentioned by our esteemed chief guest, I believe that they would appreciate and being responsible and sensible to the power of the media of films. I would also like to thank the trainers and the team of Indian School Sur under the able leadership of Mr. Amin, who have organized this wonderful event today. At the same time, I would again like to thank all the teachers within our Indian schools who have ensured the continuity of education for thousands of children in spite of the pandemic. All of them adapted quickly to the online mode of education, and they have been doing a really excellent work for which they deserve a round of applause. At the same time, like in every film, every role, every person is important. Similarly, I would also like to thank and acknowledge the contribution of all the staff members associated with Indian schools, our parents and our children also for cooperating in these extraordinary times. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Training programs allow us to strengthen and improve our skills. It enables us to achieve a higher level of competency and gain knowledge on topics. We had eminent experts who conducted training sessions for the Film Fest participants. The panel of trainers were Dr. Nitin Kalot, Assistant Professor in Times School of Media at Bennett University, Noida; Mr. Sam Kumar, Founder, Director of Miraj Institute of Film and Photography; Ms. Malvika Sagar, Assistant Professor at MIT University, Greater Noida; Mr. Ashwan G. Krishnan, film scholar and educator, currently teacher at Jain University, Bangalore; Dr. Ashish Rao, Professor, award-winning documentary filmmaker, MIT University, Noida; Mr. Vinod Sukumaran, National Award-winning film short filmmaker, State Award-winning film editor; and Ms. Samina Mishra, documentary filmmaker, writer, and teacher. It's a glad moment for us to welcome all the trainers who have joined us today. Ms. Malvika Sagar, skilled in advertising with a creative bent as a visualizer, filmmaker, and storyteller, along with the knowledge of audio and video editing software. Let me invite Ms. Malvika Sagar to share her experience with us.
Well, hello and good evening. My respect to all the dignitaries and chief guests. I congratulate all the students for performing wonderful in their filmmaking exercises. I have gone through your films, and trust me, after seeing your films, I was so happy that whatever lessons that you have learned during my session, you had tried to apply them, and I could see your dedication while making your films. It was it was really wonderful to see your what do you say, that all of you were very motivated during the sessions. The motivation level was very high, and the kind of a humble approach you had while asking the questions, and we had very interactive doubt sessions during the training process. So that's what made you more inclined towards filmmaking subject, I mean, filmmaking as a subject. And the of course, the veterans which are present today in our session have already expressed their views about how films should be the the side of art, when we talk about films as an art, right, more than films as a science. Of course, we need to have knack of science to make the films, but definitely whatever films that you have made this time, there was a creative bent. When we talk about the artistic bent was there, and the concept of art was also there in few of the films which came for the nomination as well. And I congratulate all the parents who had promoted their students, I mean promoted their children, and the students of all the Indian schools. They have collectively made all the films, and this kind of a passion is definitely required to be a filmmaker. And as a trainer, I want to give you a very small message, that you need to be uproarious in your approach, and the concept that you choose for films next time, right? It should be intriguing, it should be powerful. Of course, you have to make sure that the concept that you are trying to depict should be enjoyable as well to the audience, right? And the concept that you take up next time while writing your scripts, please make sure that they are more thought provoking in nature. And it should be more of picaresque, right? So that's all from my side. I congratulate all the students, those who have participated, all the parents. I request them to promote their children, to encourage their children towards this beautiful line of filmmaking, because we have various numerous amount of job opportunities in the film industry. We have various roles as a scriptwriter, as a musician, as a director, as a cinematographer, and many more, right? Above the line and below the line, there are lots of people who are required while making a film. And that's all from my side. I wish you all the best. My all well wishes are there with all of you. And my heartiest congratulations to the team who has organized this wonderful event. That's it from my side. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Ashwant G. Krishnan is a film scholar and educator currently teaching at Jain University, Bangalore. His expertise is in mobile filmmaking and low-budget filmmaking. He has conducted various international workshops on AR and VR filmmaking, which is the future of filmmaking. We welcome you, sir, to share your thoughts and experience with us.
Very good evening to all dignitaries on DICE. First of all, I would like to thank Indian School Sur for conducting and coming forward with such a wonderful idea of conducting a film festival. This definitely will upskill the students and make them think about various a different form of expression, human expression. Now, film without any doubt is one of the most creative and influential form of expression. And the films made by the students during the festival, the whole event, uh, probably they try the best to come up with the best work what they can come up with. Now, and sessions what we had with the students were very engaging, and the kind of doubts and the questions raised by students, I was amazed by the way students were thinking about the production process of film, which I don't think when I was a kid I was thinking in such a way, or I had these questions. Now, as our chief guest Jean Prasad Shah has said that everyone with a phone is a photographer now. And if filmmaking is not something which is alien to all of us, if you have a phone with you, you can make a film. Now, this again is an opportunity. Also, this is a challenge. Now, since everyone is making films, how is your film looking good, or how you create a good quality content? Now, again, so one thing what I want to tell all the students, the way you look at things is really important. So, It's not just about creating a film or telling a story. It's also about how are you telling the story, right? So since you are, kind of dealing with human emotions and expressions, you should be really, concerned about how are you telling the story, and from which angle are you telling the story, or what are you making your audience experience when they watch the film. So as Malvika ma'am said, they try to evoke, provoke your audience and try to get into their minds. And the storylines what you choose when you make films should also be on those lines. Then I think the important or the most primary objective of art is to touch human minds, right? So I hope we will find, definitely will find some great filmmakers from this group. And I would like to end up with a very famous quote by one of my favorite filmmaker. Stanley Kubrick once said, "If it can be written or thought, it can be filmed." So there is nothing like, okay, only can be a good film or this can be a good film. If you have an idea, just go and make your film. And once again, wish all the best to all the students and congratulations to the winners of the event. And again, thanking Indian School Sur for having us and conducting this session. I wish we have more of this in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the inspiring words. We are extremely thankful to all the trainers who have conducted the training sessions beyond the frame. With the permission of the chief guest, Mr. Shyama Prasad, in the presence of Dr. B.B. Sam Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, and other dignitaries, Indian School Sur is happy to honor the trainers with the virtual certificates.
It gives us immense pleasure to have with us Mr. Ajit Panikar, Director in Charge, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, as the guest of honor. We welcome you, sir, to share a few words with us this evening.
Good evening. Dignitaries on the virtual dais, principals, teachers, and my dear students, good evening. The pain of filmmaking is temporary, but the film is forever. To celebrate cinema and to create a vital link between filmmaking and the student community, the Board of Directors of Indian School in Oman has conceived the idea of providing a platform for the students to excel in the art of filmmaking. And this year, Indian School Sur has successfully taken the mantle to host Indian School Film Fest. The school has effectively carried out training programs in script writing, acting, directing, and all the other nuances of filmmaking for students by bringing the best of resources from India. The results was quite encouraging. We had 39 short films and 8 documentaries, all of them created by our students. It says, next to hunger and thirst, the most basic human need is storytelling. The medium of cinema and its power to entertain, terrorize minds and hearts, and its power to introspect and reflect is tremendous. Our children should know how to discern fiction from reality And the purpose of the Film Fest would be to give our children a transformative learning experience. I am delighted to see a phenomenal, ever-growing response to Indian school films in Oman. I congratulate all the associated with this organization and execution, especially the principal and his team of dedicated teachers, along with the complete support from President Mr. Amin and his SMC team for making the Indian School Film Fest 2020 a magnum opus. I congratulate the crew behind each of the films and wish them good luck in all their endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your pleasing and enlightening words. The 60s, 70s, and the 80s are still known as the golden eras of Indian music. Even if we talk about the world music, some of the best music and musicians belong to those eras. Here we bring the elegance of the 60s, the foot-tapping rhythm of the 70s, the romance of the 80s, the style of the 90s, and the hype of the 2020s into one single playlist. Some sultry retro hairstyles and the bell-bottoms with long collared shirts set the floor on fire with the evergreen R.D. Burman's numbers. Here is an enticing dance performance by our students.
आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर, सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई। आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर, सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई।
तो क्या आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर, सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई।
मैं शायर तो नहीं, मैं शायर तो नहीं, मगर ऐ हंसी, जब से देखा मैंने तुझको, मुझको शायरी आ गई। La 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 मेरी उम्र के नौजवानों, दिल न लगाना ओ दीवानों, मेरी उम्र के नौजवानों, दिल न लगाना ओ दीवानों। मैंने प्यार करके चैन खोया, नींद खोई, अरे झूठ तो कहते नहीं है, कहते नहीं है लोग कोई। प्यार से बढ़कर नहीं है, बढ़कर नहीं है नहीं है दिल दे के यारो इस दिल पे जोर कोई, चलता नहीं है दिल दे के यारो इस दिल पे जोर कोई। इस रोग का नहीं है इलाज दुनिया में और कोई। तो गाओ ओ शांति ओ शांति शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति शांति ओम।
डॉन का इंतजार तो 11 मुल्कों की पुलिस कर रही है, लेकिन डॉन को पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं, नामुमकिन है।
सारा जमाना हसीनों का दीवाना, जमाना कहे फिर क्यों बुरा है दिल लगाना। सारा जमाना हसीनों का दीवाना, जमाना कहे फिर क्यों बुरा है दिल लगाना। सारा जमाना
देखो देखो है शाम बड़ी दीवानी, धीरे धीरे बन जाए न कोई कहानी। देखो देखो है शाम बड़ी दीवानी, धीरे धीरे बन जाए न कोई कहानी। दिल पर है दिलकश है दिलदार नजारे हैं, आज जमीन पर उतरे कितने सितारे हैं। अगलो होश नमी दानम, हम है दिल है और जानम, बस दीवानगी 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 है। ना कोई रहसन ना रहबर, ये इल्जाम लगे किस पर, बस दीवानगी 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 है। All the hot girls, put your hands up and say, oh, Shanti, all the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say, oh, Shanti, all the hot girls, put your hands up and say, oh, Shanti, all the cool boys, come on, make some noise and say, oh, Shanti.
That was indeed a thrilling performance. We were taken back to the golden era of Indian cinema. Mr. Arun Chidambaram is a film actor, director, writer, predominant in the Tamil movie industry, popularly known as Kollywood. His first film to hit the theatres was Kanavu Variyam in the year 2017, which won 7 international awards, 15 international honors from 9 countries. Mr. Arun won the Platinum Remmy Award for the Best Theatrical Feature Film and a Silver Remmy Award for a song, Kalla Manna, featuring in the film. Mr. Arun has also won personal accolades from the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and other top government officials. We are immensely happy to share a small AV about Mr. Arun Chidambaram.
The world has discovered Spielberg and George Lucas and Ang Lee and Ridley Scott and the Coen brothers.
And the directors here tonight could be the Ang Lees and Ridley Scott.
I welcome him to share his valuable words. Our guest of honor, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, is facing few network problems. He'll join us shortly.
Are we going back to a history journey on the evolution of cinema?
Oh, sure. Here we go. A multitude of methods developed from the 1950s and 1970s in order to enhance the viewing experience. Cinerama arrived in 1952, followed by CinemaScope in 1953 and Omnimax in 1970. With the release of Steamboat Willie in 1927, Walt Disney began the golden age of animated films. The multiplane camera, developed by UBL Works and also introduced by Disney, allowed to provide traditional animation with innovative three-dimensional effects. This type of video camera was used in the film Snow White, which achieved depth in animation for the first time in history.
In the 1930s, the French cinema employed poetic realism, wherein they treated real subjects in an imaginative way.
Technicolor was first introduced in 1932. Films shot in Technicolor used a three-strip camera that captured the scene in cyan, magenta, and yellow, then put the colors together. With Technicolor, red and yellow looked brilliant, so nearly every film from the 1930s had a fire scene. Three Little Pigs was one of the first films made in tricolor.
Film noir in French translates to dark film, mostly about crime and drama story arc. Detective variety became popular in the 1940s and 1950s. Italian filmmakers highlighted the actual problems faced by ordinary people after the war.
Wow, it's wonderful to listen to the story on the evolution of cinema, taking you all forward to the events of ISFF Grand Finale. We had a panel of esteemed judges, which consisted of Dr. Nitin Kalot, Assistant Professor in Times School of Media at Bennett University, Noida; Dr. Debastuti Dasgupta, Assistant Professor in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Ashutosh College, Kolkata; Dr. Priyanka Roy, Assistant Professor in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Ashutosh College, Kolkata; Mr. Blaise Johnny, an award-winning film critic; Mr. Ashwin G. Krishnan, film scholar and educator, currently teaching at Jain University, Bangalore; Ms. Malvika Sagar, Assistant Professor at Amity University, Greater Noida, who have drawn their expertise to fairly and reasonably assess the team's efforts in the various aspects of filmmaking.
Dr. Nitin Kalot teaches film studies, photography, new media, and media research. Dr. Nithin is actively involved in documentary filmmaking and digital photography projects. His documentary films were screened in various national and international film festivals. He was the Indian ambassador for Asia Pacific Ethno Documentary Film Festival conducted by Asia Centre, University of Melbourne. We take the pleasure to invite you, sir, for sharing your experience with us as a trainer and as a judge.
Thank you. Namaste, good evening, everyone. First of all, I like to congratulate each and every one. Like I was with you since the day one as a speaker, as a trainer. Also, I got a chance to evaluate each of your movies. So I like to clap from my end for everyone, for your parents, teachers, all mentors for the wonderful show. So we had a very difficult time in judging 39 short films and 8 documentaries. Some of the films were really, really good, so that even I doubted the quality of like how can students do such kind of a film. But after seeing the each like films, I understood each student is blessed with a lot of creativity that you had already and you got enriched during training. Talking about the filming in the pandemic, that's one of the biggest challenges even the film production companies are facing. Most of the films were not shooting, the films which were shot, which were delayed in the release, and lot of like the Netflix, Amazon Prime, lot of things change in the film making overall the world. Even though in this situation was very much difficult, everyone made movie by following the protocol, all the COVID-19 protocol. That is very appreciable level because you made everything during last 3 months and with the minimum technical like equipment or the crew. Talking about the films actually talked about the problem of your life. That means how an identity crisis, or you can talk about like how how you're trying to show yourself, like problems in your family or the problems in your society. Also, the various issues like mainly concerning of the identity. And talking about documentary, which was theme about Indo-Oman relationship, all the documentaries were very factually correct. But I found that many documentary, you are just using the images which were from the internet. You could have added more interviews, or you could have find even the pandemic. You could have done interviews online. You could have met people who could take bite. Okay, that was only one shortfall I found in documentaries. Otherwise, especially that in the music, the most of you done your original music. That was very commendable. And most of you are asking during a training session was, sir, how to edit? So which software I to use? So I told that day, software doesn't matter. It matters is you, and that is proven in all the films. So I congratulate every filmmaker, actor, cameraman, music director, editor, sound recordist, everyone, every crew in your film. And I wish all the best for the film festival. And I'm looking forward to collaborate with Indian School Film Fest 2021 also. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for your support and guidance. Yet another expert in the field of media and communication, Dr. Debastuti Dasgupta's main area of research is new media, film marketing, film audience, etc. We invite you, ma'am, to share a few words with us.
A very good evening to all the dignitaries present here, to my fellow jury members, and my dear students. It is a great opportunity for me to be a part of the jury member team. I am privileged to be here, and I sincerely want to applaud this initiative. Congratulations to the entire organizing team for making this successful during the pandemic. The last year, 2020, we can see that it was a stressful year in all of the senses. And I was reading a research article that day where they were mentioning that the graduating batch of 2020, even the school children, They were the most suffered batch of the time. And for this, we can say that I would really like to congratulate that in midst of everything, you have channelized your potential in such a right manner, right direction. Very, very appreciable and commendable. When I was just watching your films, it is really, really hard to judge. Guys, you have a huge potential. It is so difficult for me which one to make the first, which one to make the second. It is very, very difficult from our part as well. The content were appropriate and relevant. The one thing I would really like to appreciate that the content you have taken, like body shaming, like sexual assault in the current times, these are actually very pertaining and relevant topics that you have chosen. And I would really extend my hearty congratulations to the entire cast and crew of the films and the training team. Thank you guys that you have helped them in making this film successful by giving them the idea of how to write a script, how to handle camera, edit, everything. And I just want to end my conversation by telling that you have to make more and more films. Make filmmaking a passion. Don't just make films for a particular film festival or like that. Make it for your creativity. Just channelize your creativity in a good way. And I am sure that if you take it as a career, one day we will get a good cameraman, a noted DOP, noted editor, director from you all guys. I'm sure of your potential. And I really want to congratulate again to the organizing team, to the entire fraternity. Thank you again to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. We are really motivated with your words. We are extremely thankful to all the judges who have meticulously judged the submissions. With the permission of the chief guest, Mr. Shyama Prasad, guest of honor, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, and other dignitaries in the presence of Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, and other dignitaries, Indian School Sur is happy to honor the judges with the virtual certificates.
We are extremely happy to invite Mr. Arun Chidambaram to share his thoughts with us. We welcome you, sir, to share your valuable words which would be inspiring for our blooming film stars of Indian schools.
Well, thank you everyone. Can everyone hear me? It's a very good evening to one and all. It's a big privilege and it's indeed a great privilege and honor to be part of ISFF 2020. And congratulations to all the filmmakers, to all the budding filmmakers. And the one good thing which I've seen is, this event is like really amazing. It's fantastic. To see the kids dancing, and like going back, I learned something from your presentation, in fact, actually speaking. So congratulations to the members, who put this together. And I would like to really thank, Mr. Srinivasa Rao, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel Muhammad Amin, Dr. Srinivasan, principal, like for inviting me to this event. And Mr. Sam Kumar was also he was the one who also like put this through. I thank everyone, and also, like to all the students, teachers, and everyone. So I didn't come prepared for this at all, actually speaking. So I'm just going to give my heart out, So what I would like to tell you guys is, when actually it's really amazing, to have a filmmaking, as part of your curriculum, and like film festivals, like as part of, like during the school days. I really envy you guys. I never had the opportunity of, shooting something when I was a kid. So this is really amazing. And there are a few things, like which I would like to tell you guys, whether you are going to be a filmmaker or not. One thing, is, until the age of I did my master's in US, I stayed there for like 8 years. Okay. And until like 2010, when I was like 29 years old, I never knew like what I wanted to do in life. So, but as soon as my son was born in the US, I came back to India. And what happened eventually was, like when I came back to India, everyone, like a few people teased me. Some asked me are you mad to come back to India? In fact, like I almost got my green card, and it's like a permanent residency in US. I almost got that, but like I said, what? This is not my thing. This is not my cup of tea. So I'm going to come away from US, and I came back for good. And even after coming here, like I never knew like what I wanted to do. Actually, I knew that I was a good writer, but I never actually knew like what I wanted to do out of that writing. I knew that I wanted to go into like films, but not into like what profession, whether as a writer, as a director, or as an actor, or as a DOP. Like I never had like any idea about it. So what I would suggest you guys is, like you guys are really, really very young, both boys and girls, right? You guys are really very young. So, if you can really decide on what you want to do in your life, with your life, very early, if you really know that, that's fantastic. If in case you don't know, what I would suggest to you is try to understand, try to know what you eventually love. So your profession should be something which you really love, that needs to be your passion. So I would really suggest you to, really follow your heart, and that your heart will never lie at all. Okay. So that's going to be like really very truthful to you. And literally, I had never had any cinematic background, and I never worked as an assistant director to anyone. Okay. But still, I went on to make this film called Kanavu Variyam, which is available on Netflix. It's a Tamil film. It was made for theaters, it was not an award material film. It was purely a commercial film, which was made about the power cuts in Tamil Nadu. So, what I would like to suggest to you guys is, I never knew anything about filmmaking, but I learned cinema by watching cinema. And if I can, and I went on to win like a lot of international awards, like 9 international awards. I traveled to 9 countries, 15 international honors. And of course, like Warner Brothers, bought the film, and released it pan India. It was the first South Indian film to do that, and I really never even, even in my dreams, I never even thought about that. Okay, so if someone like me, who has literally no knowledge in filmmaking, and who hasn't worked with anyone, if someone can achieve, this much, if someone can go through this much, if you learn it from scratch, from a young age, you can, reach greater heights. So all you need is determination and passion, and whether you come into filmmaking, or whether you are going to be a professor, or you are going to be a scientist, or you're going to be a cricketer, or or any profession for that matter, right? You differentiate what you want to do, whether you want to be an ordinary guy or you want to be an extraordinary guy. There are these two words, right? Ordinary and extraordinary. So what's the difference between these two? Only one thing, the word extra. So in this world, everyone are willing to put in 100%. So if you put 100%, you are going to be ordinary. Okay, so if you don't put 100%, put 110%, give an extra 10%. That extra will make you extraordinary. That's really very important according to me. And whatever work you do, Just do it with ultimate passion, with sincerity, be genuine, be professional, and make sure, aim for the sky. Okay, that's really, like one important thing. And when you want to do something out of the box, when you want to stand out extraordinary, be prepared. People will start calling you stupid, psycho, or maybe, like a wacko, or, like maybe, like you are nuts. Okay, people call me that. When I came out of US, people said like, you're losing an amazing opportunity. US is a land of opportunities. I said, no, India is a land of opportunities for me. Okay, they said that, like I am losing my mind. And then I made this film. After I, like when I said I'm going to like venture into films without any cinema background, people said, you are crazy. And the third thing, when I said them, like I'm going to act in the film, I'm going to play the lead role, they said, they confirmed that I'm a wacko. Okay, they confirmed that I'm a lunatic. But still, like I never cared about anyone. So that's really very important, I would say. Like it's not just me. Okay, Edison was called a wacko. Okay, Walt Disney, okay, he was called a wacko. And Newton was called a wacko. Henry Ford was called a wacko. Anyone, like who doesn't want to be an ordinary guy will certainly be called a wacko in this world. So just be prepared for that. Don't worry about that. Just aim for the sky, and just work really very hard. You will be able to, like achieve. And I would suggest you to like this generation, I would say, please read a lot of books, okay? And that really helps you. And watch really good films. Like if you don't know, like right now everything is open source. So, like when you open the internet, like what films to watch. Just search for really nice content, good content. Good cinema will teach you a lot. Okay, so just go ahead and do that and read a lot of books. That is really very, very important, reading a lot of books. I read a lot of books, okay? That exposure you will never get from anyone, okay? So that teaches you a lot. So do that, and for sure. And I really thank, like everyone for inviting me for this event. It would have been, I would have really loved, had I been to Oman, and seen everyone of you, like in person. But this is pandemic, and thankfully, like at least we are able to like meet this much. And the organizers, it's really amazing to see, like you guys are able to like put up such an event, like online, and I'm really amazed. So all the best to you for everyone. Just once again, follow your heart. Don't listen to anyone except your heart, okay? And that will take you miles. And everyone wants to hire someone who's willing to go the extra mile and be the mile, and please be the person who always wants to go the extra mile, and that will take you places. And thank you, everyone. Do watch my film. It's on Netflix. It's a very inspiring film. And one last thing I would like to tell you guys, for the young filmmakers, if you want to make films, right, it's not necessary that all films should convey a message. Okay, make films that are entertaining, make films that you love. And if you love that film, we believe that everyone will love that as well. And you can never please 100% of the audience. If you please 75% or 80% of the audience, that's a big achievement. And all the best to you guys. Thank you very much.
Follow your heart. Really inspiring words, sir. Thank you, sir, for your words of appreciation and encouragement. ISFF 2020 has been a great experience for the Indian School Tour family. It was indeed an enthralling experience to host such a mega event. Let me invite our beloved principal to present the highlights of ISFF 2020.
Honorable Chief Guest, Actor and Director Mr. Shyama Prasad, India's first Emmy Award winner, Actor and Director Mr. Arun Chidambaram, Evergreen Actress Mrs. Mallika Sukumaran, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman Board of Directors, Mr. Anuj Swaroop, Second Secretary Embassy of India, Mr. Ajit Panikar, Director in charge of Indian School SUR, other esteemed directors of Board of Directors, Mr. MP Vinoba, Senior Principal and Educational Advisor, Mr. Mohammad Amin, President School Management Committee, Indian School Sur, Presidents and SMC members of all the Indian schools in Oman, Assistant Educational Advisor Dr. Alexi Joseph and Dr. Gokul Das, trainers of Beyond the Frames, jury members, principals, vice principals, assistant vice principals, HODs, coordinators, teachers, parents, and my dear students of all Indian schools in Oman, good evening and warm wishes to all from Indian School Sur. As we continue to navigate one of the largest global crises we have ever faced, the Board of Directors' vision ensures that our students are not deprived of any aspect of their school life. Indeed, we embrace the philosophy that no stone shall be left unturned to find ways to ensure the continuity in the teaching and learning of curricular and co-curricular activities to assure our students holistic grooming. Filmmaking is an artistic expression, and it is the depiction of human emotions and life in relationship with society. Around the world, cinema has thrived immensely. Sure, the popcorn is overpriced, the cold drinks are weirdly large, and there is always someone who forgets to silence his mobile phone. But cinema has been an entertainment and an eye opener for ages. Indian School Film Fest is the brainchild of our beloved chairman, board of directors, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel and his team. The Indian School Sur community is proud to be the host of the second edition of the fest. The fest was inaugurated by our chairman, board of directors, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel on 30/11/2020, and the function was attended by the director in charge, Mr. Ajit Panikar, and other esteemed directors, SMC members, principals of all the Indian schools in Oman. Today, due to this pandemic, the technology has taken precedence and people started making movies without meeting each other, keeping the concept of making movies using the latest technology of using mobile phone. We have requested the schools to participate in short movie making competition and preparation of documentary on Indo-Oman relationship. The objective of this competition is to bring out the talents of our student community in filmmaking. Our vision is to ensure that all the participants have the opportunity to learn about film in all its richness and creative possibilities. To achieve this, we have conducted training sessions to the participants by the experts in film education from 30th November 2020 to 26th December 2020, emphasizing pre-production, production, and post-production. The screening of all the 39 movies took place on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of this month and is also available on YouTube in our official channel. The training sessions are also available for future viewing on our official YouTube channel. Today, on this occasion, you are about to witness the proud prize winners in different categories of this film fest. I take this opportunity to thank the board of directors for keeping faith in us and entrusting this event and their guidance and support. I also thank all the participants and the respective school coordinators for their support and participation. I thank all my principal colleagues for their support, and I thank our school management committee for their untiring effort and guidance in successful conduct of this fest. On behalf of my entire team, I thank our sponsors for their financial support. Thank you all. Stay safe. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Moving back to our incomplete journey on the evolution of cinema. Indian film industry has a great impact on our society today. It has evolved both mechanically and digitally. The cinema industry now uses autonomous drones, which are GPS enabled and can be operated through smartphones, an app, or even a remote control system. The Ultra HD 3D technologies, the dual camera VR, drone goggles are some of the most futuristic technological innovation in the cinema industry. All these innovations are pushing the film industry to adapt and adopt new ways to produce films and project quality content. Here ends the journey to the evolution of cinema, and with a safe landing of the voyage, we bring you back to our Indian School Film Fest.
Now, the most awaited moment of the event, the award ceremony of ISFF 2020. It's not the winning, but the participation, not the triumph, but the struggle. Each and every participant in the Indian School Film Festival is definitely a winner. Here we go for the award ceremony. With the permission of the esteemed chief guest, Mr. Shyama Prasad, guest of honor, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, and other dignitaries in the presence of the Honorable Chairman, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, and Mr. Muhammad Amin, President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Soul, may we have the honor of presenting the accolades to the proud winners of the Indian School Film Fest 2020.
Award for the preparation of documentary on Indo-Oman relationship. We have received 8 documentaries on Indo-Oman relationship. The documentary with good interviews, narration and very less percentage of internet or stock footage by the crew members of Care and Special Education Muscat.
Welcome to all. They have got very old relations.
All relations, okay.
Very good relations with
Yeah.
India. Oman, India is good.
Indo-Oman, main import from Oman to India, petroleum, while Oman imports.
How you do feel? Abdullah is studying in Indian school Muscat.
ओमान कहो या हिंदुस्तान, दुनिया के 2 देश महान.
Congratulations, CSE Muscat. Children are special gifts. More special are the children from Care and Special Education. Children, your participation in the fest has made all of us proud, and it has added more color to this Film Fest 2020-21. Indian School Sur community appreciates the efforts of CSE Muscat. First category of award is for Best Direction. The nominees are Master Vaishnav Chitra Shine for the movie What's Beyond Horizon.
Dress for school, go to school, get screamed at by a teacher for bad work, get bullied by a bunch of not so nice people. I wonder if it is too much to ask God for a different schedule.
Miss Swanandi Rajendra Garukar for the movie Pressure Cooker.
Where to, ma'am? I remember an old friend of mine going to meet her. Okay. Ma'am, can I ask you something? Yes.
Master Nandakrishna Giri for the movie Sanguine. The winner is Master Nandakrishna Giri of Indian School Desert for the movie Sanguine. Our second category of award is for Best Actor. The nominees are Benson B. Philip for the movie Sanguine, Tessa Susan Phillip for the movie Resilience,
How are you going home? My dad's coming to pick me up. Okay, my brother came. Bye. Okay, bye.
Gloria Lijo for the movie Realization,
Exposed to such situations during childhood. The times have changed, and so did the society. General attitude towards such people have also changed. Society became more tolerant and was willing to hold them closer. Her body did come out.
The winner is Tessa Susan Phillip of Indian School Muscat for the movie Resilient. The next category of award is for Best Music. The nominees are Master Karan Kodwani for the movie Sara, Master Alan Joseph Nibu for the movie Street of Music, Master Rhythm Biswas for the movie Isolation, and the winner is Master Alan Joseph Nibu for the movie Street of Music. Our next category of award is for Best Editing. The nominees are Master Joan Walter Furtado for the movie Dear Echo, Master K.S. Suryanarayan for the movie Online. Miss Bighna B.L. for the movie Infinite Hope. The winner is Miss Bighna B.L. of Indian School Darset for the movie Infinite Hope. Next category of award is for Best Cinematography. The nominees are Master Karim Ullah for the movie Unknown Stranger, Master Atul Cherian Matthew and Master Job Gio Suvi for the movie Resilience.
How are you going home? My dad's coming to pick me up. Okay, my brother came. Bye. Okay, bye.
Miss Akshara Venu for the movie Never Alone. The winner is Master Atul Cherian Matthew and Master Job Gio Suvi of Indian School Muscat for the movie Resilience. Next category of award is for Best Theme. The nominees are Indian School Sur for the movie The True Heroes,
My mother is now with me in train.
Major Arna Singh reporting, Amma.
Indian School Restak for the movie Contamination,
Oh my god, I didn't realize the seriousness of this disease. Now I've learned the value of life. Please, Angel, give me a...
Indian School Sur for the movie A Mobile Saga. The winner is Indian School Sur for the movie The True Heroes. Our next category of award is for Best Dialogue. The nominees are Master Krishna Kartikeya for the movie The Dark Lives.
Dad, I passed my 12th with 95%.
Very good, Surya. Now throw the books away and come work from tomorrow.
No, Dad.
Master Benson B. Philip and Master Shivakrishna Manoj for the movie Sanguine. Master Atharva Johri for the movie Silent Voice.
Hey, what do you see? Some of you might be admiring the beauty of the flowers, while some of you might be looking for the depths of the sky. You must be wondering who.
The winner is Master Benson B. Philip and Master Shivakrishna Manoj of Indian School Darset for the movie Sanguine. Our next category of award is for Best Screenplay. The nominees are Master Bhajan Baraj for the movie Unknown Stranger. Master Rohan Tomsaji, Master Savio Shibu, and Miss Bency John Thomas for the movie Incognito. Miss Shelley Mary Varghese for the movie Resilience.
How are you going home? My dad's coming to pick me up. Okay, my brother came. Bye. Okay, bye.
The winner is Miss Shelley Mary Varghese of Indian School Muscat for the movie Resilience. The evenings of the last 3 days were filled with incredible and deeply varied performances of action and emotion across our small screens. Yes, we held the screening of all the 39 movies on 3rd, 4th and 5th of February. The audience were asked to vote for their best choice. Yes, they have expressed their verdict. We are proud to announce the winner of the Viewer's Choice Award. The most popular movie that bagged the highest number of votes, and the award goes to Resilience of Indian School Muscat. Our last category of award is for Best Movie. The nominees are Dear Echo from Indian School Muscat, Sara from Indian School Jalan. Resilience from Indian School Muscat. The Unknown Truth from Indian School Bowsher.
I see those flowers there. They're so beautiful.
Oh yes, we can take a lot of selfies there. Let's go.
You guys carry on. I'm a little tired. We'll join you later.
Okay.
Incognito from Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. The runner-up goes to the crew members of the Unknown Truth of Indian School Bowsher. The winner is the crew members of Resilience from Indian School Muscat. Congratulations, prize winners!
Wow, these few minutes were really thrilling. Heartiest congratulations to the winners and kudos to all the participant teams. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. A long way to go ahead with tiny bits of efforts taken. There is always a next time.
A word of thanks and gratitude creates the magic to warm up hearts and connect minds with emotion. He is the epitome of hard work, sincerity, perseverance, and determination. He has never missed an opportunity that came his way despite the challenges he faced all through his career. I would request the President of School Management Committee and the Managing Director of Sea Pride LLC, Mr. Mohammed Amin, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Guest, Shama Prasad, actor and the great filmmaker, Mrs. Malliga Sugumaran, the prominent, well-reputed cine actor from South India, Mr. Arun Chidambaram, the writer, actor and director, Dr. Baby Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, Mr. Ajit Panikar, Director in charge of Indian School Sur, Mr. Anuj Sarup, the Second Secretary of Indian Embassy, Oman, eminent directors of board, presidents, members of the management committee of schools in Oman, a highly regarded educational advisor, Mr. MP Binobam, and assistant educational advisor, Dr. Alex C. Joseph, and Mr. Gogul Das, distinguished principals of Indian schools in Oman, presidents and members of school management committee, esteemed principal of Indian School Sur, Dr. S. Srinivasan, my dear colleagues, and extremely wonderful parents and children. A very pleasant evening to all of you. I take it as a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. I am highly indebted to all eminent personalities gracing the occasions with your higher dignity and presence, making the Indian School Film Fest 2020 a memorable event. Let me take this precious moment to thank Almighty for the mercies accorded to us. At very outset, I wish my express gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the beloved and visionary ruler of the country, Sultanate of Oman. My sincere prayers for the great leader Sultan Qaboos bin Said, and special thanks to Ministry of Education for their continuous support to Indian schools in Oman. I'm extremely honored and happy to be here, express our gratitude to the chief guest, Mr. Shama Prasad, other special guest, Ms. Mallika Sukumaran and Mr. Arun Chidambaram, for accepting our invitation to attend this festival and added colors to the special and memorable event. It has made the event extravagant and special. I delight to express my gratitude to Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman, the Board of Directors. We thank you for your achievements and accomplished of your vision and mission towards the Indian school system has now intellectual and overall development learning. Thank you for gracing occasion with your presence. My pleasure to express sincere thanks to Mr. Arjun Sarup, the Second Secretary of Indian Embassy in Oman, who has blessed this occasion with his presence. My deep sense of acknowledgement and sincere thanks to Mr. Ajit Panikar, the Director of In Charge, Indian School Sur, and other directors of the board, Educational Advisor Mr. Vinoba, Assistant Educational Advisor Mr. Dr. Alex, and Mr. Gokul Das, for rendering their utmost guidance to us host the special event. I would like to acknowledge the sincere thanks the trainers who had guided our students to achieve their dream towards making the movie and documentaries. Thanks for your spending your valuable time and providing encouragement and motivating our children. I'm immensely thankful to all jury members for their dedication and time, which made it possible towards the students, their creative effort. I express my sincere gratitude to our sponsors, CPRAD LLC, Veloya Desalination Plant, Alpha Supermarket, Unimoney Exchange, Global Money Exchange, Muscat Insurance Company for their support financially and moral to this event. Our sincere thanks to Focus Studio, who has helped us to record the cultural program, which has made the festival more vibrant. And even like this cannot be happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required planning and bird eyes for details. We have fortunate to back by the team, very proactive and dedicated staff for our institution. Thank you, dear members of Source School staff. I extended heartfelt thanks to my team, Sur SMC members, for their support and conduct the event a grand success. Next, I thank my appreciation and effort to the cultural committee of this event, Mr. Pradeep, SMC members, Mr. Srinivas Rao, SMC members, and Ms. Divya ma'am, SMC members, and our teachers, Dr. Sujata, Dr. Sunena, and Mrs. Sunena, and Mrs. Rukmani, and Mrs. Shija, and Mrs. Sonia for the feast. A special thanks to the IT and art teachers, Mr. Sunish and Ms. Jenny, who have worked very hard for this event. I wish my sincere express and thanks to our most diligent principal, Dr. S. Srinivas, for this able guidance and support all through the planning and conduct this mega event to a grand success. My humble gratitude to all the dear parents and most loved students for encouraging support, active participation in all activities conducted. Without your participation, none of the activities would be gained value added tag. Thank you all. Finally, to all our participants who has created 39 short movies and 8 documentaries, the event has given tremendous experience for each one of you. Each one of you polish your skills. The team of Indian School Sur believe that the event will play valuable role in your future. Our best wishes and thanking you for all of your participation. At last, not the least, our sincere thanks to your board of directors who has shown the confidence on Indian School Sur to the school, the staff and the management, and we have tried our level best to conduct the program at the best level. And once again, thanking you for all of you. Let's work hard in silence and let's our success make noise. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. A super fun-filled dance with energy and vigor. It requires you to both go down to the ground and jump up in the air. We will now have the cultural team with a power-packed performance to make you feel like dancing with their moves.
In the words of Frank Herbert, there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story.
To create ideas was easy, but to execute them was real challenge. But the entire Indian School Sur family supported and made it memorable.
At every step, we wished that the program should come out to the best. I hope you all enjoyed our program.
With the blessings of the Almighty, we could successfully complete this mega event.
Over the years of our teaching experience, we have learned to follow the 3I rule: initiative, interest, and involvement. If we have all these three qualities, we will definitely be able to accomplish any task assigned to us. We take this opportunity to thank our beloved principal, Dr. S. Srinivasan, the president and the other members of the school management committee. We also wish to thank the board of directors who have given Indian School Sur the opportunity to accomplish this mega task and host this event, ISFF 2020-21. Thank you.
A happy ending is always possible if you are willing to keep the story moving ahead. We, the fraternity of Indian School Sur, are signing off with our hearts filled with satisfaction and joy. With the blessings of the Almighty, we complete the task of Indian School Film Fest 2020 with the lowering of the ISFF flag.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.